To hear that at the end of the conversation, it's like,
Yeah, to be honest, I am
that's
sorry
like
for
rubbing
that.
salt in the wound.
It didn't really.
Went off and come out and you're like kissing, cuddling Ron.
I'm
That's
sorry.
super muggy. Don't
Obviously,
talk
when
about
she-
respect, because I think you're just chatting shit, really.
Oh my God, it's just me and my popcorn sitting there watching Casey give a piece of his mind to Lana and run. In my opinion, I normally don't advocate for such behavior, but I live for this moment because I think he had the right to sort of vent because how dare they waste his time? How dare they use him like a pawn in their game of making each other jealous, knowing for a fact that he spoke to Lana and asked her, "Are you really serious? Do you see a connection?" And she said yes, only for her to turn around less than 24 hours later to say, "No, I want to pursue things with Ron." Anyway, hey there, it's Valerie. I'm so sorry for the late update. I've been working and my computer has been playing up. Anyway, in this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, season 9, episode 23. So Lana's in the changing room with the girls, and she tells them, "Oh, I've decided to have a conversation with Casey and let him know that I've decided to end things and pursue things with Ron." And I don't get the girls this season. I'm sorry because they should be honest. I know people want to be friends that way they don't get voted out when it comes to voting amongst islanders and stuff, but they should have told her the truth that Ron is not after your best interest. I know um, Tennille is best friends with Ron and she's advocating for Ron, but I think there are times you have to sort of put someone's best interest above your friendship. And so Lana then calls Casey. They go to the day beds, they have a conversation, and she sort of tells Casey that she's decided to end things because she wants to pursue things with Ron. Because she feels she's got a stronger connection with Ron, and that's where she wants to put all her energy. And she tells Casey that, she's a great winged woman, so if he needs her. And Casey just storms off. And I think he has every right, because that comes across as patronizing. How dare she say that to him when 24 hours ago she was giving a speech and declaring how much she likes him and how much she wanted to work on her connection and how she was going to, put her brain above her heart and all that nonsense, only for her to turn around and say, "Oh, I've decided to pursue things with Ron." So he did walk off, and she sort of sat there dumbfounded. And it's like, why? There's no need for you to pretend to be confused. What did you expect him to do? To say congratulations, well done, thanks for wasting my time? No. So Casey sort of walks across and he goes to sit with Tom, Will, and Jordan, and he sort of tells them that this is what she's told him, and they are all shocked. Lana runs off to Neil and Sammy and says, "Oh, I think Casey just walked off, and I think he's upset because I said I'm going to be your winged woman." And it's like, why aren't the girls telling her the truth? That you're giving away a good opportunity just to go back to someone who treats you like crap. She should have tried a bit longer because apparently they're only in a coupling for a day, and then she decided she wanted to go back to Ron. She wanted to go to Ron. Ron manipulated her into feeling guilty and putting his best interest above hers, and she ended up going back to him. So after Casey tells Tom, Will, and Jordan what's happened, they're all sort of shocked. They can't believe that Lana's going back to Ron because these are the guys that have been with Ron, especially Will, since the beginning. They know the way Ron has moved. They've heard the things Ron has said behind Lana's back. So they can't understand how Lana can suddenly wake up and say, "Oh, I've decided to go back to Ron." And it's like, what has he done to show you that he deserves you coming back to him? What? He hasn't done anything apart from make you feel guilty and make you look stupid because he kept saying, "You've made you was telling Tennille she's made a stupid decision." Tennille should have told her the truth. Well, when I was speaking to Ron, this is what he said. But instead, she decided to be Team Ron and cheer Ron on for whatever else he's going to do. And I will be sitting there with Casey watching Lana when she starts crying as soon as Ron moves on to the next shiny thing. Because I can see him moving on to the next bombshell. Or in Casamo, I can see him running wild. The boys are comforting sort of Casey because he is upset. And Ron is sitting there chilling with Kai, and I'm thinking, he knows what's happening. He's spoken to Lana. Obviously, he knows what Lana's doing. So why wouldn't he, be celebrating his handiwork, watching his puppet do his bidding. Anyway, then Jordan sort of walks across to the girls and asks to have a chat with Tennille. I don't know. Tennille said she enjoys, they seem comfortable, they look great together. And so I'm a bit surprised that they are not putting in as much effort as you'd expect. Um, On the other hand, you see Ellie walk across to sit where Tanya and Shaq and sort of complain or moan about the fact that, why is Tennille pulling Jordan? And it's like, you're not in a committed relationship with Jordan. You've barely been together for 2, 3 days. When Zara did the same thing, everybody gave her hell. Why is everybody keeping quiet when Ellie is doing the same thing? Everybody was complaining when Zara was saying, no, what are people doing with Tom? But suddenly, when it's Ellie doing it, it looks great. I think Jordan has the right to have a conversation with all the girls because he's just come in. He's one of the latest bombshells. He needs to get to know everybody. It's not like his connection with Ellie is that strong. And I don't get how Ellie decided to run and complain to Shaq and Tanya. Why didn't she go to Olivia or one of the other girls? I didn't get that. I found that a bit shady. But anyway, that's me. In her confessional, Tennille says, she likes Jordan. They have great chats. He's very confident, but she's trying to see if there is that spark. And it's like, she needs to move away from Ron. She needs to move away from Ron because Ron was her comfort when she fell out with Kai, and now she's sort of hanging on to Ron, saying he's a friend, but their friendship is inappropriate. I think she needs to move away from Ron and focus all her energy on the bombshells. I know with Casey, he might not be her cup of tea, but at least if she's interested in Jordan, then she needs to make more of an effort. Um, we then get Tom and Sammy. They are sitting down and having a conversation, and Tom is talking about how they haven't had a case outside of the challenge. So during their conversation, they decide to share their first case. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't quite see their chemistry. Maybe it's just me. And I also don't get how Sammy is interested in Tom. Is it because she's just not into a committed relationship? Because the reason she said she wasn't interested in Jordan was because Jordan was saying he was looking for someone he could settle down with. So what is Tom a hit and run then? I don't get that relationship. Um, Lana then decides to go across to Ron and let him know what's happening, and I thought it was inappropriate. I thought she should have waited until at least the following morning to have a conversation. And Ron looked very smug. He didn't seem that bothered that Lana and Casey had broken up. He seemed very happy, with his handiwork. And it's like, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. Tom then goes to have a word with Kai in the kitchen, and he lets Kai know that, you know, Lana has decided to go back to Ron. And everybody is shocked. I think all the guys, because they sit in the morning in the debriefing, they hear all the things Ron has done. They sit and chat with Ron during the day. They know how Ron is and how Ron is moving and how he isn't as into Lana as he makes out. And just to be more insensitive, they decide to kiss. And it's like, how much worse can this get? You've broken up with someone, it's barely been half an hour or an hour. You're already moving on to your ex and you're kissing and you're making out. And how do you expect Casey to feel? This was all very insensitive and very toxic. I did not like it at all. I did not like it. I don't know why nobody sort of called them out. I know Shaq is the one who's always calling them out, but I don't know why someone didn't call them out. And then they sit there cuddling each other, and poor Casey sort of sat in between Kai and Tom, and Shaq is there, and they're all trying to sort of comfort him because they know how heartbroken he is. They know how serious and committed he was to sort of pursuing things with Lana. So they all don't get how Lana can suddenly move back to Ron, and they're sitting and they're making out. And sadly, when Casey sort of turns back, he sees them kiss, and poor Kai was sort of trying to tell him, no, don't look back, because it's just going to cause you more pain and heartache. I felt sorry for him. I really felt sorry for him, and everyone was trying to comfort him. Tanya and Lana and Tennille are busy making noodles, and Tanya receives a message to say, the hideaway is open, and they offer, and everyone shouts Will and Jesse. Will's excitement, he's over the moon, he's jumping up and down. Jesse seems excited. I really don't get Jesse. I don't know how serious she is about Will. I've said this before. I hope she is serious and she doesn't break his heart. I like the fact that the guys are sort of lifting Will. They're excited for him because they know how important this is for him. And it's just like, okay, it is what it is. Jesse gets ready to go. Tanya, I like the fact that Tanya gave her something, some lingerie, and sort of said, you will need this. I don't need it. On his Will is on cloud nine. He is floating, and they're so excited. I don't get how he was dressed though. He looked like a fool. Anyway, they go to the hideaway, and what did you expect? What did you expect? I think everyone was excited for Will because they know how hard of a first week Will had. So they were excited that things were finally looking up for him, and he and Jesse were going to go and have a great time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that relationship. I know a lot of people are really like, oh, we like this relationship. I don't get it. The Hideaway looks amazing. Will is acting a fool in there. He's on the floor on his knees. He's oh my God, just is changing in lingerie. He's busy. You know, I don't get him. I don't get him. I don't want to say anything else. I don't want to say anything bad that might trigger some people. And then, well, otherwise in the villa. Olivia decides to bring up her issue with Sammy. I think, I think as much as Olivia's moved on with Kai, I think she's always not happy when someone is with Tom. That's the impression that I'm getting because there's nothing else that could be causing beef between Olivia and Sam. I think her beef is the fact that Sam is with um, I think with Tom and they seem happy. I think that's where her beef is because she then decided to bring up, oh, yesterday when you spilled the water I've had and moved, it would have gone all over me. And when I said to you, you soaked me, you started laughing. What I think she expected was she expected to play victim. She expected the same response that Zara gave her when she sort of tried these funny games of hers, or when Tennille sort of gave her. And the fact that Sammy just said to her, it was nothing really. I was actually surprised that you were saying that there was something there. For me, there was nothing. I think this is what shocked her, and I think even the producers were expecting there to be a big fight, and nothing. They just ironed it out. Sammy said, "Oh, I like you. You know, if I had beef with you, I would come and tell you to your face that I have beef with you. I don't have beef with you. This is why I'm not saying anything to you." And you could see her balloon deflated because I think she was planning on playing victim and causing her calling, you know, making such a scene, and when it didn't happen, she was sort of deflated and didn't know what to do with herself. Casey then calls Lana to have a chat. I think because he's had a conversation with the guys, he's managed to process what as much as he can, and then after seeing Lana and Ron kiss, I think this is what set him off, and this is why he had to give Lana a piece of his mind that how dare you say you want to be my wing woman, and how dare you waste my time and play with me? You should have just left me and let me be and let me pursue other connections without making it seem as though you were that interested in me. And instead of saying sorry, Lana decides to play victim and is like, why? Oh, Casey's upset with me. He has every right to be upset. He has every right to be upset. And the fact that Ron, after that, decides to come and have a conversation with him, you could tell all the guys were not having it. All the guys were upset on Casey's behalf. And when Ron tried to speak to Casey in the kitchen, Casey just walked off and said, you have nothing to say to me. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. And I have to give him credit. I have to give him credit. I'm really proud of Casey and how he's managed to stand up for himself. When they get ready for the evening, Lana is sort of playing victim to the girls. Oh, Casey, told me off. He's upset with me. I'm not going to sleep with him because I don't think it's comfortable for me to sleep with him. I'll go and sleep outside. And I think if Ron was as caring about her as much as he makes out, why didn't he go outside and sleep with Lana? Why let Casey go outside and sleep? Because Lana was saying, I'll go and sleep outside. And Casey said, no, that's fine. I'm already ready to go and sleep outside anyway. I'll go. It's like, if Ron is that in love with Lana or is falling in love with Lana and he really cares about Lana and has such a strong connection with her, why didn't he say, okay, let us go and sleep outside? No, he said he slept in the villa and was busy asking Tennille that, oh, so can we still cuddle? We're mates so we can cuddle. And it's like, you said you want to commit yourself to Lana, and yet you're busy talking about cuddling with Tennille. Make it make sense? Making make sense? I don't get that nonsense. Anyway, in the morning, the islanders are happy. Will is still in the hideaway with Jesse. And when they come out of the hideaway, Casey's sleeping outside and he asks them for a hug. And it's just like, oh. I'm surprised none of the other guys wanted to go and sleep. I'm surprised Jordan didn't go and sleep outside with Casey or one of the other guys. Maybe they were enjoying themselves with the girls. But hey, it is what it is. Um, and then during debriefing, I like the fact that Casey told Ron, because Ron was saying, I'm going to be honorable, and you were saying, you just like to talk a lot of shit and you don't. You don't back it up with actions. The fact that you're saying you're being respectful and yet you're already kissing Lana after we'd barely broken up, that doesn't make sense. And after debriefing, the girls are busy talking about, Jesse and Tanya decide to tell each other about, they had sex in the hideaway, but nobody else knows. This is their own little secret, and they'll tell the next girl who comes out of the hideaway and find out what they did in the hideaway. And it's like, what the hell is going on in the hideaway? Are they being told that the cameras are off and then they get just going wild with it? I don't get it. I don't get it. While having toast, while making toast. I didn't see Ron make any toast for Lana. You only make toast for Lana when in your case he was trying to do that for her. He's busy complaining in his confessional that he's not impressed with the way, he's not impressed with the way Casey has behaved, and it's like when Lana chose Casey, you stormed off. You refused to speak to Lana. You were mad, and all the guys were comforting you and pacifying you, and everybody was treating you with kid gloves. Suddenly, somebody else is in their feelings, and you are now upset that why are they in their feelings because it's hurting your feelings. Uh, I don't know why Ron gets all the attention that he's getting. There's nothing really interesting about him. He doesn't come across as that interested in Lana as he makes out. His mouth is interested in Lana, but his actions are not. And I don't know how she cannot see that. Obviously, Ron then decides to pull Casey for a chat. They have a chat, and they agree to disagree. More or less, that's the long and short of it. They just agree to disagree, and that's it. Whilst everyone else is just lounging away, um, Shaq then receives a message to say, there will be a challenge in the evening for speed pulse hearts racing, and we'll see whose heart will beat faster than everybody else, and who will cause, this is something that they do in Love Island. Anyway, everyone is excited and is already practicing their skills and their routines and whatever. The boys come out first. I think Shaq was amazing. The sad bit is because Shaq came out and performed, everybody started copying because Shaq had Tanya on the floor and was sort of gyrating on top of her, and every other guy did the same thing. It's like, you really don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. That is not necessary. Come up with your own routine. You don't have to copy. And Will was in his element. Oh my God, he was twerking and everything else. I'm surprised he didn't stand upside down. And then Casey went and gave Lana a kiss. I thought he wasn't going to do anything with her. I like the fact that he lifted Tanya and was dancing with Tanya. I think they're very close. I think they've become very close friends with Tanya, Casey and Tanya and Shaq. So he was happy. He seemed happy in it anyway. He seemed very relieved. Tom, I don't know. I think I more enjoyed Casey, Will, and Jordan out of all everybody's performance. And Ron is in the doghouse with me, so I was really not interested. And then when the girls came out, oh my God, Tanya really put it on poor Shaq, and she behaved herself. I think after the issue with the kiss, she tried to make sure she didn't do anything that would cause Shaq to be in his feelings. I thought it was an interesting challenge. I thought it was an interesting challenge. We'll see what happens. And then last but not least, obviously the new bombshell came in. Um, I didn't like Olivia's outfit. I didn't like Olivia's outfit. She's playing a character she's not. That's more or less the impression that I'm getting. She's playing a character that she's not, and I don't know whether she's trying to revamp her image and sell herself as a sophisticated person to the audience or whatever the hell she's doing. I didn't get that. And her dance routine, I don't know. Kai was more interested by it than anybody else, I think. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.